Iron ore up 6.5% for the week.
That's incredible. That's because that was really low. Like
Really
that was
low.
really
So
getting low.
I remember, I think maybe 3-4 weeks ago, iron ore was down low 70s. I think it cracked below 75 a ton. I think maybe hit 72 or 73. The spot price this morning hit 111.
Wow, that's great.
So massive turnaround. That's a huge...
It's like 50%. It's 50%.
Massive. In 4 weeks, it's massively positive for iron ore.
And I think with the China reopening...
Exactly right. So let's touch on a few points there. It's China. China's really driving this very, very positively.
Because China, contrary to popular belief, have actually come out and they've released their COVID restrictions.
So what's happened is... Because I didn't even realise their restriction on COVID-19 was you can't quarantine at home. You basically go to these big centres where if you have COVID, you basically just...
Sit there.
You all sit there. So now they're allowing home quarantine, and they've scrapped their health QR codes at all venues and stuff. You needed to check in with a QR code and have a negative PCR test to go to a supermarket. Oh. So they don't have that anymore. And the new guidelines, I've actually got a piece and a quote here from the new guidelines, which they've given to the authorities in China, which we know have been so strict. It says they're urging the authorities to ensure the normal functioning of society and basic medical services, saying that areas that aren't designated high risk should not restrict people's movements or close businesses. So very, very positive. I think whether you're looking at equities, whether you're looking at commodities, we're going to see some positivity from this. And another thing is that we saw an announcement this week that we think next week the Chinese government is going to pump more stimulus into
because they have got a big stimulus, haven't they? They did a big stimulus bill. They said they were going to loan out a lot of people that want to build houses.
Yeah, they pumped about 300.
I think that was when iron ore really started to turn around, wasn't it?
300 billion into infrastructure, and the pledged amount is sort of undisclosed at this point, but we're expecting a potential announcement start of next week with more money being pumped into the property market to really start to stimulate that Chinese economy. So again, that really, if you look at the face value of that, can only be positive for iron ore. Another big thing for iron ore this week is Vale, one of the biggest producers in the world, cut their guidance only by about 2%, but it was a pretty big drop in the actual metric ton figure of production of iron ore. So a few issues on the supply side there, but at the moment, a lot of support for iron ore with regards to the macroeconomic landscape.